Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our afternoon edition of Big Brother 22 All-Stars Live Feed Spoilers, the Veto Ceremony edition, where I know that you're leaning forward, your jaws are prepared to drop, but don't worry, your jaws are going to be fine. There's not going to be any broken jaw bones. There's nothing surprising that is going on here.
Nothing surprising, but some discussions that have gone on. So we do have some stuff coming up.
Yeah, I think there's a few interesting sort of variables in the game right now. I think there's a chance for something interesting to happen over the next few days in terms of campaigns. I think it just depends on who's really willing to say what and when. But before we get into anything more here, if you guys do enjoy this video, subscribe for more updates, give us a like, hit that notification bell, and support us further. Get shirts, mugs, and the likes at our store, and check out our Patreon. We have links to both of those in the description.
Okay, so let's get to the veto first. So
Yeah.
Tyler has the veto. Is he going to use it? Wasn't he going to use it? He told Davonne before the ceremony he was not going to use it, and then he didn't use it.
Yeah, it really completely just destroys all suspense when you say to someone, oh yeah, I'm not gonna use the veto. And like, I don't think there was gonna be anything crazy that happened last second anyway, and if there is any greater fallout, we'll talk about it a little bit later today. But this has been virtually the plan from about 5 minutes after the veto was over, when Memphis sort of realized, oh, I'm not gonna be able to get David up on the block. Like, no, Memphis, I'm sorry. You have won too many other things in this game. We have to take a W here somewhere, and that is not you not getting to do what you want for 1 week.
No, and yeah, since the minute that Tyler won this veto, he knew that he was not going to be using it. So this isn't a surprise.
And it's the right move, ultimately, for Tyler to make. And I'm not happy about the idea of Davonne potentially going, but David, it's not like David is a number for Tyler, but I think Tyler realizes that Tyler's not number one on David's hit list here. David has his arch nemesis, like the...
He does, but at the same time, he did go to vote out Tyler last week. So, Tyler, I don't know, man.
I think clearly he will get rid of Tyler if he's on the block. I don't know exactly where David's head is at all the time. Granted, I don't always know where David's head is at all the time on really just about anything in the game.
Yeah.
This next little while, though, I think this could be a little bit interesting depending on if you're Davonne, what do you do in this situation? Because before the veto ceremony, she was already getting a little bit sort of down on herself and her chances.
Yeah, I mean, Dani and Nicole, they're saying that they'll do what they can, but they're not going to really put themselves out there to save Davonne. They don't need to. They have other numbers going on, or at least that's what they're thinking. I think they do need Davonne because moving forward, Dani and Nicole are kind of at the bottom of that alliance. They do need numbers, and Kevin will not be a number really for them. I know he really likes Dani and everything, but he has no problem selling anybody out. Like, this is kind of where we are. Kevin knows that he's probably safe, so he's not really doing anything to tip the apple cart at this point.
Yeah, like we talked up yesterday, like this Hail Mary plan where they were gonna just like totally back the bus over David and like accuse him of everything terrible that has ever happened in the game. That didn't really materialize that much, and I don't know for sure why it didn't materialize that much, but if I'm just going to put on the tinfoil hat here, I think it's because Memphis told Kevin, he was just like, you're likely safe up there against Davonne, and I think at that point, Kevin... I think it was him I compared to a Lannister. I don't even remember anything anymore, but
Oh, yeah, he is. He's like a Lannister or a Littlefinger, where he's just sort of playing everybody to get himself into a really good position.
Like, I think he likes Davonne, but Kevin doesn't really put himself that far out there for pretty much anyone, and I think he's probably thinking, okay, if I try to fight really hard to get David on the block as a replacement nominee now, do I put myself in a worse spot? Do I lose David's jury vote at some point? I mean, granted, I don't think, Kevin, I'm sorry. You're probably not winning Big Brother 22 with the resume that you have at this point regardless.
No, and losing Davonne, I mean, Davonne would have been loyal to him. She just played the veto on him last week. She would have road to the end with him. David is not going to do that with Kevin. So this is also a big mistake for Kevin. Kevin has made a lot of mistakes in this game, but once he loses Davonne, he really has no one. David's not going to step up to work with Kevin.
No, and that's just sort of where things are right now. And I think Nicole is probably more okay losing Davonne than Dani, because I think Nicole's scared about her vote being outed to Davonne at some point or another. But I think, like you said, they both do kind of need her because their numbers are being chipped away. And plus, they got to kind of do like the equal heavy lifting here with the campaigning, because I feel like Dani's like up here and Nicole's like up here, and everybody's already sort of talking about Dani at this point for doing too much.
Yeah, Dani is sort of putting herself in a bad situation, and it is also then bringing Nicole into it. They've lost Ian, who could have been a number for the two of them. Now they're losing Davonne, who's another number for the two of them. They are going to be going, and they're going to be going soon.
I just think that, other than Cody, who's only like kind of like halfway working with them because he's got the whole bro thing as well, like, where do you really turn if you are the two of them at this point? Like, you're going to go be buddies with Kevin? We know Kevin holds serious grudges against people who campaign for him to be evicted.
Yeah, I think that Nicole and Dani have put themselves in a seriously bad spot.
I am going to, I'm not, this isn't full on fan fiction here, but this is like, I'm going to run like a test experiment in my head here for a second here. Because this is the way in which I think you try to make a campaign to get rid of Kevin over Davonne. And I love Davonne. This is not a slight against Davonne at the least, but Davonne's resume in Big Brother, it's not great. Like, she was gone really early her first season. She barely makes it to the jury her second time around. She finds herself in bad situations. She's a little bit too blunt. Kevin has made it to the final 3. Kevin has made it to a position where he didn't get to the final 2 because there were fears he could have won Big Brother 11. Like, he is by far the more dangerous player of the two in my mind.
But he's also going to be completely alone once Davonne is gone. Like, completely alone. Nobody's working with him. So he is a threat to nobody unless he wins an HOH.
Here is my impression of Kevin after Davonne gets evicted, and it goes a little bit like this. That is a snake sort of slithering. Yes. Snakes don't make a lot of noise, people. And this is the thing. A lot of people use snakes in a negative connotation. Just go with me with the snake here, people.
All right.
Everybody, not a lot of people think snakes is bad in Big Brother, but, people are snaky in Big Brother all the time. And
you need to be to win.
Yeah, Kevin can be full-on Cobra with the amount of snakiness that I think he is capable of doing, where he can sort of just slither his way in somewhere, try to be like, I'm on my own, you're not a number with these other couple people. Like, I don't know if anything is going to work because that Blob Alliance is so blobby, but he's going to try to slither in there, and I think he's more capable of doing something in that degree than I think Davonne is.
He's more capable, but the door to the Blob Alliance has been firmly shut. There's been other people that have given that exact same pitch, like Kaser, who was like, I am alone. I have no one. And they were still like, bye. We're just see you never. So, I just don't think it's going to work. He's just not part of that group. The only way that I could see Kevin sticking around a little bit longer is if Dani pushes too hard for Davonne this week. She already has a target on her back. Her and Nicole, they're at the bottom of this alliance. Depending on who wins, someone might take a shot at them, but probably not. We'll probably just see Kevin and David on the block next week.
Okay, this is the most ridiculous thing about all this, because we all know Davonne has made some clear mistakes. We saw some of them on the show last night, but really it seems like the biggest reason for her demise is that Dani tried too hard in the veto, so it didn't look like she threw it, but she didn't clearly try hard enough to win. And because of this, it is we must eliminate Dani's numbers. And that is the key motivator now.
It is interesting how much this particular season people are focused on other people's performances, people trying too hard, not enough, throwing something. They're very aware of how other people are doing and using it against them. So throwing something, people are going to know right away. You're trying too hard, people are using that against you. This is the one season I've seen this more than any other season.
And it's time to wind up Enzo with that in mind, because Enzo, he is now of the mindset, and just don't remember everyone, Enzo says a lot of things sometimes that don't actually happen.
Yeah, remember that HOH. Oh, I'm gonna get rid of Ian, yeah, this is gonna happen, that's it. And then nothing happened.
And now,
Enzo.
Now Enzo is just like, yo, that's it, I've got a plan, yo, if there's a double eviction, yo, it is what it is, Dani. She might be going on the block. That double eviction, yo, that's it. And it's like, okay, first things first. All of these people always say, oh, I'm going to make a big move at the double eviction. You people don't know when the double eviction is happening. You know, hypothetically, I'm sure there will be one, but there may not even be a double eviction. You're just all so afraid of, like, making a move where people are going to be mad at you for longer than, like, 5 minutes that you're going to try to be the snaky snakes and try to snake someone out there and then just whistle to yourself and pretend you didn't do it.
Oh, for sure. And so I just don't believe you. I just think that it's going to end up being a situation where, you know, Kevin or David's going to go, then the next week the other one will go, and then Dani will go. And that's sort of where I see the next things all hitting, unless one of the three of them wins something.
David. This is your chance. You can do it. I believe in you.
You're the prince who has promised.
Yes, David.
This is where we are.
We are really building up David to be like the crusader of this season, and we're talking about a guy who got booted in the first week of Big Brother 21. But this is where we are, people. And, you know, I do think, by the way, there's not going to be a double eviction this week. I think we would have heard about it by now if there was. We're kind of shifting into this place, though, where everyone is doing, like, these sort of negotiations and trying to just cover their butts, and you see a lot of this going on with Cody and Dani at this point.
Yeah, so Cody has told Dani that he'd get rid of Tyler over Memphis, but, you know, I don't know that he would. Cody's just in a really good spot right now where he doesn't really need to say any of those types of things. He wants to make sure that Dani's okay, you know, calm her down, but she's probably going to go before either of them.
I just think at this point, if you are Cody, as long as you don't see, like, let's say Davonne goes this week, unless you see that, like, David or Kevin is ahead of you in an HOH, you can just throw, like, enough HOHs for, like, the next few weeks, because who's coming at you right now from within your own alliance? You don't really have to worry about it, but I know you want to sort of gas up Dani and tell her all these sort of things that makes it seem like, oh, I know you're worried about Tyler. Don't worry, I've got your back about Tyler. But, you know, I think the bro war is still coming that I've been hyping up for a month. I just don't think it's, like, in the immediate future here.
I want to believe that it's coming because it would be truly entertaining, and we have had very little entertainment this season, but I just don't. This has been the most predictable season I have ever seen, where every week the same alliance wins and just picks off the other side, that now we are going to be left with Kevin and David as underdogs, and that is all.
I am going to be sitting here on Thanksgiving, and I'm going to be like, the bro war is still coming. Tyler's going to go over to Cody's place. He's going to steal his Thanksgiving turkey. That's it. I don't know why I've just turned into Enzo in the middle of this, but...
He's misted us as well.
Yeah, I think
now we're all Enzos.
This is going to be the thing. At the end of this season, the entire video is just going to be, yo, that's it. We're here to talk about it. This is the game. It is what it is. That's it, yo.
Yo, Enzo's the winner.
Yeah, that's where we all... I think we're all...
That's where we're going.
We're all slowly becoming Enzo disciples, too, at the same time, which is troublesome in itself. But Cody is... okay, you know... Yes... We know you picked the good player to win the game.
Enzo, this is where I am now. All my underdogs are leaving.
I'm just sitting here over here like, Kevin, what happened to Big Brother? Yeah, I know, now I'm all on the David train. So the only other thing is, like, Dani's, like, trying to get some, like, reassurances from Cody now, and she's just like, you know, if I lose Davonne, are you going to be okay to lose David moving forward, Cody? Because I think she believes in her head now that, like, It's not like David is Cody's untouchable or anything else, but I think she sort of thinks, oh, this is the number that Cody's stringing along, and I'm trying to string along Davonne here, so I gotta make sure he's okay with this if I'm Cody doesn't really care that much, Dani, I'm sorry.
No, Cody does not care really about David at all. He's not really a number for Cody, but Davonne is a number for Dani, and that's sort of like, I don't get where she's really trying to go with this. Cody will cut David no problem.
Yeah, we've already went over the Cody pyramid of like alliances of people who he cares about, where it's Memphis, then you've got Nicole, maybe Dani somewhere in there, and then you've got Enzo.
Yeah, David is not on this list.
David is somewhere off of the pyramid. David's just chilling somewhere else.
Yes.
Cody's just playing a good game. Like, that's the reality of it. That's the frustration. It's just that it's a very straightforward season.
Yeah, because unless Kevin or David wins an HOH before they're eliminated, nobody's coming after Cody. Like, nobody.
Yeah, it's hard to fathom it right now. Maybe someone will just blow my mind if they win HOH, and just, like, imagine BB Twitter if that happens. But we'll wrap this up. We'll be back in a little while to talk further about the aftermath. But what do you guys think about these Veto Ceremony results? Is your mind blown? Let us know in the comments. And if you do like this video, it's probably not blown. Just give us a like, subscribe, support us further. Check those links to the store, our Patreon, and we'll see you here next time